it's live now.
Yep.
You
Okay.
guys should be able to see it. Yeah,
Yep.
if you search Play by Play Sports Network on YouTube.
Yeah. There. It's all Hun. Those are the subs on the right. and to welcome you into the Petit School for the New Jersey Prep A Baseball Championship between the Hun School of Princeton and the Peddie Falcons getting underway as Peddie is the road game in this contest. The first pitch from Jack Urbeck misses inside to Latrell Reed, and we are underway today at 11:01 a.m. Thank you for joining us here today as Reed awaits the 1-0 and swings and misses. Count even up at 1-1 strike. Lineup for the Peddie Falcons today: Latrell Reed leading off, followed up by Justin Moreno, the shortstop, and Pat Satina, the catcher, here in the first inning. Urbeck, wasting no time, goes the breaking ball down. Count 2-1 strike. Cam Barreto, Aaron Katz, Jimmy Fellamaro, Mike Tile, Jared Hillman, and Tim DeGray round out the starting line for the Peddie Falcons. 3-1 strike. Now the count to Reed. Game one of potentially two here today in this double elimination format in the Prep A Championship. 3-1 in for a strike. It's now 3-2. Hun is 2-0 in their first two games. Peddie is 2-1 in the Prep A Championship. So a Hun win in this game gives them the championship. If Peddie wins, that forces an if necessary game. It's chopped on the ground to third. Andy Blake with it. And the throw on to first in time to get Reed 5-3 for the first out of the game. Jack Urbeck rolls a ground ball out of the leadoff man for Peddie. That'll bring up Justin Moreno with the one out and the base is empty here in the top of the first inning. Peddie looking to get off to a strong start. Peddie had to play two games yesterday. They lost to Hun 5-0 in the first game. First pitch in for a strike to Moreno, count 0-1.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Peddie has actually not defeated Hun this year, despite having a relatively successful season. Talked to Coach Eric Treese before the game. He says that they could have actually had more wins if things had played out differently. So this is probably the core of what has been building for 2 years here at Peddie.
0-2 fouled off by Moreno for a look. Dylan Galgano, the first baseman, runs out of room. Count remains at 0-2. Peddie went 5-5 in Maple play this year, but like you said, finished strong during the regular season and is taking that momentum with them into the playoffs as the 0-2 is swung on and missed by Moreno. He's down on strikes. First strikeout for Jack Urbeck, and there's two gone in the first inning. Bring Pat Satina to the plate for Peddie.
I didn't even recognize him with that fro. He had short hair back when I was the manager of this team. Looking like a completely different player both on and off the field.
First pitch in for a strike to Satina, count 0-1. Yeah, he's had a really great season for Peddie in his junior year. Getting right close to 400 on the season. Pitch sails to the backstop, count 1-1 to Satina.
Yeah, even as a home run this year. So, you know, as you were saying before the game, with these fences, it's kind of hard to do that. He's got power.
Yeah, they're not high fences, but especially in the gaps in right and left center. Need to give it a ride. 1-1 misses. It's now 2-1 strike to Satina as Jack Urbeck on the mound for Hun, looking for a 1-2-3 first inning. Upstairs, it's now 3-1. Satina looking to give Peddie its first base runner of the game and extend the inning for Barreto on deck. Lifted in the air, foul behind home plate, shedding the mask, Danny Melnick. He runs out of room as it hits down on the stands, scattering some Hun fans who didn't expect that ball to reach them. And the count full 3-2.
No, if you're sitting on those stands there, you always got to watch out for that. Actually never seen it really hit the stands before, but you know, dangerous activity out here watching at Thompson Baseball Field.
3-2. Breaking ball, strike three called. Beautiful curve from Jack Urbeck. He strikes out two in the top of the first, and we head to the bottom of the first with no score here at the Peddie School on the Play by Play Sports Network. Go to the bottom of the first, no score here at the Peddie School as the home Hun Raiders are due up alongside Trevor Russo, Joe Vasile here with you on the Play-by-Play Sports Network as Jake Mineski takes the mound for Peddie here in the bottom of the first to go up against Hun and Carson Applegate to lead things off. As you can see, the southpaw Mineski getting the call here in biggest game of the season for the Falcons.
Yeah, good lines from Mineski. We'll get to him after this pitch.
First pitch called the strike to Carson Applegate, count 0-1.
Yeah, the pitching for Peddie not as strong as that for Hun, but Mineski, 30 Ks in 35 innings, a 3 ERA, so good stuff from the southpaw, but we'll see how he does it against a mostly right-handed lineup, I presume, for Hun.
It's a powerful one for the Raiders as the pitch is ripped hard to third, but gloved by Mike Tile. And there's one gone in the inning as Tile making the fast reaction play over at the hot corner for the first out. So that'll bring up Andy Blake, number 2 hitter for the Raiders, after Blake McGuire Tuffy is on deck. Pitch to the rest of the Hun lineup after this pitch, which misses low for a ball, count 1-0. Cleanup hitters, the catcher Danny Melnick, then Jack Urbeck, the pitcher, hits 5th. Blaney Soper in left field bats 6th. Dylan Galgano, the first baseman, is in the 7th hole. Sean Patel, the right fielder, bats 8th. Ben Petrone at second base hits 9th. Count 2 balls and no strikes to Andy Blake. Line in the 2-0, just low. 3 balls and no strikes to count.
Yeah, Andy Blake just hitting a cool 5.08 on the spring season here with 12 doubles and 2 home runs. Pretty tall guy too, so looks like gonna have to watch out for his spots. He's not really gonna pitch to him here.
Takes a walk on 4 pitches, just 5.08. That's I can't believe head coach Tom Monfiletto has him in the lineup if he's only hitting 500.
Yeah. A little low for the Red Raiders.
Here you see Tommy over there in the third base coach's box, flashing signs as McGuire Tuffy comes up to the plate with Blake aboard at first base. Tuffy was an all-Maple selection last year. As the first pitch misses high and tight, count 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, Tuffy besting his the 2-hole by 1 whole percentage point here, 5.09 for Tuffy. So Hun lineup is pretty stacked.
Pitch misses too high, and the count 2 balls and no strikes to Tuffy. Shortstop for the Hun school, and in his senior season, looking to wrap up a 4th straight Prep A championship. Pitch popped up, foul back behind home plate. That'll get over on a hop by the track, which is behind us on the third base side. Count 2-1 to Tuffy.
Yeah, at least in my experience, the pitchers at Peddie have never tried to blow you away. It's always been more location stuff from them. Back when I was playing, or not playing, but when I was the manager, one of my good friends, Alex Larson, was the ace, and he threw about 75 with his fastball, so wasn't really blowing people away, but his control was excellent. The Peddie pitchers have always tried to emulate that.
Blake runs as Tuffy skies one to right field. Coming in, Katz makes the catch. Throw back to first, and it is not in time to get Blake. The throw beat him, but Cam Barreto bobbled it. And so Blake back in safely at first, avoiding an inning-ending double play.
I don't know, it looked like a bobble on that play, but I felt like he still had the ball at least trapped by the glove. So umpire with his back a little bit to the play, but not going to question that. It's a bang-bang.
Here's Danny Melnick, the catcher at the plate and cleanup hitter. First pitch misses low, count 1-0. Yeah, I'm not sure if Barreto established possession through the catch and made a football move and did everything else.
Yeah, he didn't take the necessary 3 steps.
Pitch misses, throw back behind the runner at first. Blake in safely. 2 balls and no strikes to count, though, to Danny Melnick. Blake has been off and running at times, and that's why he almost got doubled off at first base. See if he tries anything here after the pickoff. He does run, and pitch fouled back by Melnick. Count 2-1.
Yeah, Satina out there with a decent arm, but it looks like the speed of Blake and those long legs probably going to favor the runner here in that matchup. So going to make sure they have to hold him on pretty tight.
Yeah, and it seemed like he had a pretty good jump that last time against Mineski, not running, as the pitch misses. 3-1 now. No score in the bottom of the first inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Urbeck in the top of the first. Now Hun with a runner on and 2 outs, trying to break through in the bottom. Pitch, runner goes, and it's popped up. Shallow right field toward the line. Katz coming on, crossing into foul ground. Cannot make the play as the ball lands down in foul territory. So it goes for a strike, and Andy Blake, who's already at third base, has to retreat back all the way to first.
Yeah, Katz made a good run at it, though. He almost really had that. There was a chance it was actually going to drop into fair territory, so I imagine he's going to be playing a little more towards the right field line after that one.
3-2, 2 outs. Andy Blake will be off at the pitch. Danny Melnick at the dish. The pitch. Runner goes, and it's lifted pretty well to left center field. Felomaro going back. He'll have room in the gap, though, to make the catch for out number 3 in the inning. Jake Mineski works around the 1-out walk, strands the runner on at first base. We go to the second. No score between Peddie and Hun. Go to the top of the second. Middle of the lineup due up for the Petit Falcons with Cam Barreto, Aaron Katz, and Jimmy Felomaro due up against Jack Urbeck. Both pitchers with the upper hand in the early going today, as the first pitch is called a strike to Barreto, and the count 0-1.
Yeah, Barreto kind of new to the program. Huge guy over at first base. You won't miss him. But a lot of power, and the way he was described to me by the number 8 man in the order, Jarrett Hillman, is he's got basically a lot of line drive lift to his swing, but with power included.
Pitch strike 3 called, and Jack Urbeck, who's now retired, the first 4 batters he's faced, and 3 of them have been via the strikeout. 1 gone in the inning. That'll bring up Aaron Katz. And a nice play out in right field in the bottom of the first inning. Now trying to go for the Falcons' first base runner of the game as he fouls the pitch back, count 0-1.
Yeah, Urbeck, if you're talking about strikeouts, this guy's got him. 53 strikeouts in 36 and 2/3 innings. You can see that cheddar is working really well to set up his off speeds.
Just a little low, count 1 ball and 1 strike. He wastes no time on the mound either. Right back in, and pitch is fouled back by Katz, count 1-2. Nice day, a little bit muggy and humid. Other than that, pretty much perfect baseball weather here on a Sunday morning. All blocked in the dirt. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Katz.
Yes. It's about the upper end of velocity that you'll see here in Prep A. Petty hitters having a little bit of a tough time catching up.
Popped up foul, first base side. That'll get over the top of the dugout and stay out of play. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once again to Aaron Katz. Need some new baseballs in, as a couple have been sent out of play. Urbeck winds and fires the 2-2. Weak ground ball to the left side across Blake, the third baseman, throws to first. And it's picked low by Galgano. There's 2 gone in the inning.
Nice play there by Galgano, as I'm sure you're going to see on the replay. He sort of sidearms this off of one knee. So a lot of power out of that frame.
So 3 strikeouts and 2 groundouts for the first 5 batters for Jack Urbeck. I'll bring up Jimmy Felamaro's first pitch. Sails high, count 1 ball and no strikes. And you talk about Urbeck being kind of up the upper end of the velocity, but we've seen some really good curveballs out of him today too. On the ground to third, backhanded by Blake. Long throw across the diamond, and that is in time to retire Felamaro. Nice play at third base by Andy Blake. And we go to the bottom of the second, still no score here between Hun and Petty. Go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Jack Urbeck leading off. He's been 6 up, 6 down on the mound for the Hun School. And the first pitch from Jake Mineski is poured in for a strike, count 0-1. Hun not utilizing a DH today. They're letting the pitcher Urbeck hit for himself. And he's someone who can rake as he flies one out to right center. Latrell Reed over toward the gap, and he gives way to Aaron Katz to make the catch. And it's 1 up and 1 set aside for Jake Mineski here in the second.
Yeah, I don't know if I made this point already. I sort of talked about how the control is sort of how Petty pitchers operate, but you're going to really see it here. I think this will be a decisive inning in terms of how the rest of the game goes, because as Eric Treese told me, they don't really have a lot of pitching left. So
first pitch to Blaney Soper is called the strike, count 0-1. Yeah, Petty had to play 2 games yesterday just to get here today. They lost to Hun in the first game, but then came back and beat Lawrenceville 14-7 in an elimination game. Soper fouls it off. It's 0-2.
yeah, you wonder what they're going to do, even if they do get to an elimination game, who they're going to have to throw. So Mineski is going to be huge in this one.
0-2 to Soper, line drive, right center field coming in, and not able to make the play. Katz was able to knock it down and keep the ball in front of him, so just a single for Blaney Soper. But it's the first hit for either side today. And a 1-out base runner for Hun here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, Katz almost making that play. He's someone who's going to go 100% after every ball, as we've already seen. Sometimes to the detriment, but mostly high-effort guy. And a good fielder to boot.
Now the first baseman, Dylan Galgano, batting. A lot of space down the right field line. You can find that gap. Pickett first and Soper back in standing. Cats playing kind of over towards right center field and just all kinds of grass between him and the foul line down the right field line.
Yeah, something to that positioning. Looks like I think that's Faliamaro in left, a lot closer to the left field line, so looks like they're playing pull right now.
Good off speed in for a strike to Galgano, count 0-1.
Although Galgano not one of their power guys, only hitting .269 with no extra bases on the year.
Flies one into shallow center. Reed coming on toward the gap, can't make the play. He recovers and throws to second, but the ball gets away from Moreno, the shortstop, and everybody's going to be safe.
Yeah, almost made that play, did Moreno, but it looked like not only did Reed drop the ball, he short-armed the throw a little bit in his haste to get it in. And although Moreno should have had that, not a good sequence for Peddie there.
Error on Reed for the drop catch, and then another error that allowed Soper to reach safely at second. Now Sean Patel batting with runners on first and second. Just one out in the inning. All Mineski needs is a ground ball. He can get himself out of this one, but everything that's been hit today by Hun has been up in the air. Pitch swinging a miss by Patel, count 0-1. His outs have been a line out, 2 flyouts in the first, and a flyout here in the second.
Yeah, Patel batting .438 this season. So, gonna have to look out here.
Line drive, base hit. Monfiletto giving the round for Soper at third base. The play at the plate, not in time, and the runners advance on the throw as Hun takes a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. RBI single for Sean Patel, bringing home Blaney Soper with the game's first run.
Yeah, this is what you're worried about if you're the Peddie Falcons. I actually said to you before the half inning, Peddie's gonna, they're gonna hold on, but once the errors start to pile up, this is where it could get troublesome here, and we're starting to see that right now with 2 men in scoring position, only 1 out.
Now Ben Patron with second and third, 1 out. The pitch over the top of his head. Count 1 ball and no strikes as Hun, who has won some lopsided games this year, trying to break things open early in the second inning. Usually, though, when these two teams have matched up, they've been close. In fact, the closest that Hun came early in the season to losing a game was to Peddie. It was just a 2-1 win. It was at a time when they were winning his try for his squeeze play, and was bunted foul by Patron, count 1-1. Hun won its first 8 games of the season. Overall, they're 21-2 on the year. A perfect 10-0 in Maple play.
Yeah, Patron hitting .358 also, so it just never ends when you're 9 hitters hitting over 300. Just an all-around juggernaut here.
Which misses inside, count 2-1 to Patron. So if you're Jake Mineski on the mound for Peddie and you know this is a Hun lineup where just about everybody can hit, how are you trying to attack them to make sure you can get outs and limit the damage?
I mean, it's going to be hard, but you're going to just have to nibble here and hope that you get some swings and misses, probably a lot of off-speed stuff, because it looks like, from the looks of it, and I imagine the way he pitches, Mineski is not a ground ball pitcher, especially, being that southpaw, pitching to a lot of right-handers, although a left-hander at the plate here. He's probably going to have to strike him out here to limit the damage.
Fly ball foul on the third base line. Mike Tile gave it a look, but watches it land down out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. It's Ben Patron with Dylan Galgano at third, Sean Patel at second. A run already home for Hun here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, but you definitely want to pitch him outside, low, try to get some sort of ground ball contact here. You don't want him to hook it, and especially a guy like Urbeck on the mound, they're not going to get many runs, so this could get a pretty bad situation for Peddie pretty quickly.
Carson Applegate on deck in the top of the lineup for the Hun Raiders, as Mineski's pitch is lined up the middle and into center field, past the drawn-in infield. One run is in. Patel around third. He scores as the throw comes home to second base. Ben Patron, a 2 RBI single, and it's a 3-0 lead for Hun in the bottom of the second.
Yeah. I also understand why Aaron Katz wanted to get that ball and to limit the damage, but he really didn't have a shot at that. He should have thrown in a second, kept the runner on, and now there's another guy in scoring position.
Still just one out here in the inning, with 3 runs home. Now the top of the lineup coming up for Hun and Carson Applegate. Mineski looks back at second, and the pitch. High and outside, count 1 ball and no strikes to Applegate, who lined out hard to third base his first time up. Mike Tile made a great play, snagged the line drive out of the air. It's been about the hardest hit ball for Hun today. Mineski stepped off to look the runner back into second. On the ground, foul up the third base line. Count 1-1 now to Applegate, as it was the bottom of the lineup doing the damage for Hun. At least here in this inning, 8 and 9 hitters, the RBIs, and chance to tack on and play for the big inning. Rocking the 1-1, swing and a miss, runner going, throw down to third is in time. They got him. An evasive slide by Ben Patron, but the tag applied by Mike Tile nonetheless. And there's 2 gone in the inning as Patron is caught stealing.
Yeah, not a great jump there for Patron. You could see he was dead to rights as soon as the ball left Mineski's hand there, and it just took a good throw by Satina to get him out. Pretty easy caught stealing there for Peddie.
1-2 to Applegate, misses outside. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes, and a big break for the Falcons. As now Mineski's just 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Yeah, I don't understand that decision. I think with a guy like Applegate who's able to get on base, he's not going to get on base here despite an error, and there is none. You probably could have had something like first and third if he got on. Instead, inning ends, and Peddie gets a chance to redeem themselves here.
3 runs come home for Hun. They take a 3-0 lead to the third here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Mike Tile will lead things off for the Petit Falcons in the top of the third inning against Jack Urbeck. Now pitching with a 3-0 lead. Hun putting up a 3 spot in the bottom of the second. It'll be Tile, Hillman, and DeGray due up for Peddie in the third inning as the first pitch from Urbeck misses high and tight. Count 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, great situation for Urbeck here, up with a 3-0 0 lead. He's going to come out slinging.
I think inside corner called the strike. The count 1-1 to Tile, who we've seen make a couple nice defensive plays at third base today. Soft line drive in left field that will get down for a base hit in front of Blaney Soper. So the first base runner of the game for the Falcons comes on the base hit by Mike Tile into left field. And a runner on first and nobody out in the top of the third for the Falcons and Jarrett Hillman.
Every time you should click it. After every play, click it.
Urbeck coming set, now the pitch. Fouled straight back, caught a piece of the catcher, Danny Melnick, on its way to the backstop. Count 0-1.
Yeah, Hillman hitting .267 on the year. So not quite the upper echelon of his teammates, but still a quality contributor out there.
Little conference before this next pitch as Hillman looking to, at minimum, move Tile along into scoring position. Down 3-0 here in the top of the third. Still have some time if you're Peddie.
And not a big lead here for Tile.
Urbeck set, pitch to the backstop, and Tile's going to get down to second base. So there you go.
Big enough lead, I guess.
Well, getting a good read on that ball in the dirt, and there's just a ton of space behind home plate to the backstop here at Peddie. So Tile able to get there with ease.
Yeah, not a high backstop either, so stuff's not going to really bounce off like it does in the majors.
1-1 in for a strike. It's now 1-2 to Hillman. Yeah, there's Oakland Coliseum amounts of foul territory here. Pitch is swung on and foul tipped at home plate. Got our main at 1-2. Jarrett Hillman. Urbeck working from the stretch with runners on for the first time today. Pitch fouled off by Hillman. Count remains at 1-2. And I was wondering with Urbeck, kind of a hot, muggy day, long bottom of the second inning. Not only that, but had to bat. Was wondering how he was going to come out and respond here in this third inning, and has found his first semi-trouble of the day. In the dirt now, 2-2 to Hillman.
Yeah, he's kind of overthrowing it a little bit. A lot of stuff going in the dirt where it was located pretty well here. Maybe he's got the comfort of that lead in his mind, you know, can come out. Also hasn't given up many runs, but could be a good situation for Petty here. Got to take advantage of it, man, in scoring position. Not going to get too many chances against Urbeck in this game.
Petty trying to strike while the iron's hot. So Urbeck gets ready to deliver the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Jarrett Hillman. Setting the 2-2. It's high for ball 3, and Hillman working a great at-bat has got it full. Still nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Urbeck sets as Hillman awaits the 3-2. This is high for ball 4.
Yeah, I thought he might go to that hook there. Fastball's not really been located well. Trying to force a swing and miss there from Hillman. Did not fool him.
Timeout called, and I'm going to take a mound visit here, just talk things over with Urbeck. Is, like you said, kind of overthrowing a little bit. And do you think maybe going to the fastball in that situation just because there's something going on up in his head where he's like, you know what, I'm just going to try and blow it past you when you're maybe not locating well?
Well, I mean, I think the fastball would be a safe choice there, but also the fact that he really hadn't found that fastball. And it's kind of like, I remember Craig Kimbrell, when he was having his control issues, would just turn to the breaking ball to actually find his spot because he could locate it down. I think that's what he was thinking there.
Tim DeGray foul bunts one back into the mitt, throw back to second, and back in safely is the runner Tile. Count 0-1 to Tim DeGray. Runners on first and second, and nobody out here in the top of the third inning as again Urbeck, with a fastball, it was up around the shoulders, but got bailed out by DeGray.
Yeah, DeGray not pulling the bunt back. He's only hitting 200, but I think his presence is a big locker room one of the leaders on this team, graduating senior in a couple weeks here.
Squares again, this time pulls back, watches the pitch low, throw back to second and tile in safely. Count 1-1 to DeGray is Blake at third, Galgano at first, playing in on the cut of the grass to guard against this upcoming bunt for DeGray. Squares again, pulls it back and takes inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, close one there. I thought they were going to call that the first fastball in a while. They've located well, or the Urbeck's located well. See if he can dial up another one here.
I said from Urbeck, the pitch called a strike on the attempt as DeGray missed on the bunt. Count 2-2, and we'll see now with 2 strikes if the bunt is still on for Tim DeGray or if he'll swing away here.
I think one of the difficulties they're having laying on the bunt is that Urbeck's a little wild right now, so you can't really predict where he's going to put it.
Pitch, he does swing away and fouls it back. Count will remain at 2-2, and yeah, that's something you always hear hitters say is bunting is the hardest against a pitcher who's wild because you don't really know where that ball's going to go, even if they're trying to lay it in there and give you a strike so you can get the out. Urbeck set the 2-1, or the 2-2 rather. This is down to the dirt, count 3-2.
You know, if I'm DeGray right now, I'm not thinking I can catch up to that fastball. I'm just going to let him do what he can and look out for the curveball instead. Because working a walk here with Luttrell on deck would be huge.
Upstairs, ball 4, as Jack Urbeck back to the well with the fastball, missing high again. And the base is now loaded. Tile at third, Hillman at second, DeGray at first. Latrell Reed top of the lineup for Peddie coming to the plate as the Falcons are going to try and put up a crooked number of their own here in the top of the third.
Yeah, Latrell, one of the at-bat leaders on this team, he's got 13 walks too, so probably the best eye out of anyone. That's why he's in the leadoff spot. And you wonder if they can't walk something home here.
First pitch missed low. The count 1-0 to Reed is now shortstop McGuire Tuffy in to try and calm Urbeck down. So he just keeps going back to the well with the fastball. He isn't throwing curve really at all this inning. 1-0 to third, knocked down by Blake. He comes home with it, and it's going to be in time to retire Tile. First out of the inning. Reed reaches at first base on the 5-2 fielder's choice. There's 1 gone in the inning. Bases remain loaded for Dustin Moreno. Great play at third base by Blake. Get himself in front of that one and knock it down. Now Hillman at third, DeGray at second, Reed at first. First pitch called a strike, the count 0-1.
Yeah, now you're in a bit of the danger zone here if you're Petty and if you're Hun, but ground ball gets him out of the inning.
Swing and a miss. Count 0-2. Moreno's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging his first time up, looking to avoid that fate here. Strikeout would be huge for Urbeck.
Just can't throw anything low. You don't want a pass ball in this situation.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. Moreno down on strikes for the second time, and there's 2 gone here in the inning. This was a good block by Danny Melnick, as he did go low and got it in the dirt, but luckily was able to kind of get himself down and close him off.
Yeah, I was thinking more of the fastball in the dirt. But change up in the dirt works too, or the curveball.
So here's Pat Satina. Bases still loaded for Petty. They loaded the bases with nobody out in the inning. Jack Urbeck trying to get out of the jam with no runs home. First pitch misses at the shoulders. Count 1-0 to Satina.
Yeah, good eye with Satina too. 11 walks on the year. So right now they've got their best hitter up here, Petty. So you gotta get at least 1 run out of the situation.
2-0 as that one missed way high above the head of Satina. Melnick out of the crouch to catch it. Urbeck comes to the high set. Now the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Ooh, boy, Satina was looking fastball and got it. Just came up empty. Count 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's now 2-2. So fastball and then the off-speed breaking ball get Urbeck back even in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, right now that little down noise, I think that's a slider, is Urbeck's best pitch right now. No one's been able to hit it.
2-2. On the ground to shortstop, Tuffy goes the short way to second. Retires Reed and the side. Here in the top of the third, Peddie loads the bases with nobody out. No runs to show for it. We go to the bottom of the third, a 3-0 Hun lead here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Go to the bottom of the third inning here at Peddie, a 3-0 lead for the Hun School over the Petit Falcons, who had the bases loaded in the top of the third inning and were not able to score. A great job by Jack Urbeck to get out of the jam, but you just get the feeling that that was a prime opportunity for the Falcons to chip away, and kind of hurts to come away empty.
Yeah, no, that was really a good chance against Urbeck, who's given up 2 runs on the entire year. And, you know, I don't know if they get that many more opportunities against a pitcher of his caliber. That was the time when he was wild. You know, when you're wild out there and you have 0 outs, you kind of feel trapped, I would imagine. And I think Peddie really have put themselves in a tough situation. But if they can get out of this with no damage, then there's maybe hope for the top of the fourth.
Ball and a strike to count to Andy Blake, leading things off in this bottom of the third. Now it's 2-1. And yeah, of course, with Peddie getting its first hit in the third inning and then Urbeck having to work out of the stretch, it almost seems like that was kind of what contributed to some of the wildness, was that set position that he had to go from.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. He really could not locate the fastball at all, but it was that little down-the-way slider that he just pulled out of nowhere that I think got him out of that jam. So Jack Urbeck having a lot more than we had seen initially.
Slow roller up the third base line. That will hug the foul line and roll foul. Heads up play by Mike Tile at third base. Did not touch it and just let that one roll off the lip of the grass and then kick foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Andy Blake.
Yeah, Tile's been really solid defensively. If they had picked that one up, that would have been, you know, leadoff hitters on. You don't really want to see that right now. And instead, count continues.
2-2. Driven deep to left field, going back Falamaro. He looks up at the wall, and that ball is gone.
Well, maybe you should have picked it up then. But wow, crazy power there by Blake. It's his 3rd home run of the season. And now 4-run deficit here for the Falcons.
Andy Blake just got all of that one, shooting it out over the fence in left field. That's a good poke out there. Now a 4-0 lead for Hun, as we've seen him defensively get the job done, and now offensively, Blake delivers. First pitch to McGuire. Tuffy misses high for a ball. Count is 1 ball and no strike.
Yeah, you figured that was going to happen at some point with kind of the lower velocity lefty versus righty matchup there.
Tuffy lines to center on the dive. Reed, did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Latrell Reed with a phenomenal diving catch in center field. And there's 1 gone in the inning.
And also, way to pick up your pitcher after the earlier mistakes. Latrell Reed going all out for that one.
Yeah, he had the error in the 2nd inning on the dropped catch. Make it up for it there with a great effort on the dive. Good to see him kind of shake that off and make that play as Danny Melnick digs in and lines the first pitch out towards right center. Reed on his horse again toward the gap. He dives again and makes the catch again. Two in a row for Latrell Reed, and there's 2 gone in the inning.
I don't know what else you say besides wow. Just, he was tracking that over his right shoulder. What a difficult play. I mean, it looks easy because he actually stood up this time, but the fact that he had to look up into the sun, too, is quite impressive. What a great catch. Even better than the first one, I think.
First pitch to Jack Urbeck misses for a ball. Count 1-0. Boy, Latrell Reed into the gap, converging with Aaron Katz. Made a phenomenal play.
Yeah, Mineski a little more energized after those 2. You can tell in his demeanor.
Strike at the knees to Urbeck. It's now 1-2.
Still got to watch out here because this guy could also take him deep.
Down in the dirt, skips away from the catcher, Satina. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Urbeck, great season on the mound for Hun. He's also a potent hitter, a lot of extra base power. This one line to center field, a little bit of an easier play this time for Latrell Reed to make the catch. And that'll do it for the Hun Raiders in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Solo home run for Andy Blake, and then 3 flyouts to center field of varying difficulty for Latrell Reed. We go to the 4th. It's a 4-0 lead for Hun here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Go to the top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Hun. Here's Trevor Russo.
Hello, Trevor Russo, as he said. Now we're switching roles a little bit. I'm on play-by-play. My good partner, Joe Vasile, is going to be on color for the next 2 innings. Jack Urbeck going up to the mound to finish off the 4th inning. Actually, start the 4th inning, excuse me, as he got himself out of a jam in the last one. Bases loaded, no outs, ended up escaping with 0 runs. And now it's up to the cleanup man, Cam Barreto, Aaron Katz, and Jimmy Familaro to see if they can replicate what the Falcons did with a little better results at the end.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see for Urbeck in this half inning how his fastball command is. When he was struggling in the third, he was consistently high with that pitch. We'll see if, now that he's got a chance to start an inning anew, got out of that jam, if he's kind of rediscovered the command of that pitch here in the fourth.
Yeah, we're also going to see if that slider plays a little bit more like it did last inning. The first pitch is a strike to Cam Barreto from Wareham, Massachusetts, out on the Cape. And Barreto's going to slice this one to third, over with it to first. Good play by the third baseman, Blake. Get a quick out here for his pitcher.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about Wareham, Massachusetts, would you?
Oh, I think I would happen to. That's where I worked last summer. I was the producer for the Wareham Gatemen. We won the CCBL championship. I got a nice little ring for it.
Really?
Quite big, in fact. But this slider down and away is going to miss for a ball to Aaron Katz.
Any good prospects go through Wareham last year, collegiate-wise? Guys who got some draft buzz maybe this year?
Yeah, Aaron Katz swinging and missing on that one. Probably the 3rd overall pick in the draft this year. He's going to be Andrew Vaughn.
Sure, yeah.
He's played for us for about 2 weeks there. Swinging and missing with a little slide step there is Katz. Now he's in the hole 1 and 2. Also Austin Shenton kind of came out of nowhere, Florida Athletic University. And Katz going to swing and miss there. The slider, he's going to it a lot more, a bit more deadly than the curveball it seems. And that's going to be out number 2 for Peddie.
2 up, 2 down for Jack Urbeck here in the fourth. He's kind of picking up right where he left off after the first 2 innings. Almost like that third never happens.
Yeah, curveball in there, spotted beautifully for a strike to Familaro. Urbeck really working with the off speeds now. And as I say that, he goes the fastball for strike 2. So now we're seeing the Jack Urbeck we were seeing in the first 2 innings, just that domination with his stuff. And he's going to get a hold of this. Blake is going to miss it on the scoop, and that's going to be an error for Andy Blake. So Jimmy Familaro is going to get to first base. Not going to get credit for that hit, but it's going to bring up Mike Tile, who has made some great defensive plays at third base on his own.
And Tile, of course, has the 1 hit to this point for the Petit Falcons, leading off the 3rd inning. Now with Urbeck back in the stretch, we'll see if he has the same problems here in the 4th that he had in the 3rd out of the stretch.
That ball's going to miss a little below the knees for ball 1 from Urbeck to Tile. The difference here is that now Peddie has 2 outs, so not a margin of error, although Aaron Katz with a decent lead at first base. Fastball's going to be down and away for ball 2. Yeah, as I was saying, Austin Shenton from the Cape actually kind of came out of nowhere, was I think 3rd on the depth chart at third base, ended up hitting close to 400 on the season, ended up winning MVP honors in the CCBL championship as he willed them to victory, as that one misses low. So 3-0 count here for Tile. But a lot of good players from that team, including my housemate. And that's going to be ball 4 for Tile. So maybe, as you were saying, a little bit of trouble. Could Tile be the spark again as men on 2nd and 1st for Jarrett Hillman, who walked his first time up?
Yeah, and with this 4-0 lead for Hun, still a tying run in the on-deck circle, but this is the part of the lineup that did the damage in the 3rd to the extent that that happened. So we'll see if the rally can be sparked by the bottom of the lineup again for Peddie.
Yeah, swing and a miss there for strike 1. That fastball's a little low for ball 1, so evening up the count there against Hillman. Jarrett Hillman from a beach town himself, from Long Beach Island. Lives there year-round, as few do.
Sounds nice.
It is nice. Like from Surf City, I believe. Yeah. As he's going to foul that one back. But, he's got the blonde hair, kind of beach vibe, so it makes sense within the context of Jarrett Hillman.
Surf City sounds like a song from the 60s that my dad would like.
You ever been down to LBI, Joe? Or
Few times. I'm a North Jersey guy. We were always more just Seaside Heights.
that one's going to be a little above the belt there. Probably a little inside, too, for Hillman, so 2-2 count.
A college roommate, though, had a place down there, so I've been to LBI a few times. Fun place. I don't know if I could live there year-round, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you do when it's not really that sunny, as Hillman's going to swing and miss for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Urbeck, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning, see if Hun can tack on a few more. Trevor Russo back with you for the bottom of the 4th on the Play-by-Play Sports Network, joined by Joe Vasile as always. And we're going to start this one off with Blaney Soper leading off, Dylan Gargano 2nd, and Sean Patel 3rd. So, interesting thing about these 3, they all scored after the error by Latrell Reed in center field. So, we'll see if Mineski has better luck with them this time. First pitch, curveball in for a strike as Satina sails that over Mineski's head.
Yeah, it was this bottom part of the lineup for Hun that got the rally going back in the 2nd inning. As we were talking about at the time, Trevor, that really everyone in this Hun lineup has got a batting average of 270, 280 or better.
Oh, and Marino's going to miss that, and they're going to try at second. I count 5 guys in the general vicinity of that ball, and like we said, Peddie is a solid team until they start to accumulate errors, and right now I think we're seeing that. They're probably going to, I don't know, I'd give that an error to Marino just for missing the ball there, but yeah. Marino, I remember, not fair to judge freshman year, but he did have troubles there in the field, a couple of missed transfers, that sort of thing. But as a more refined player, you got to make that catch. And now there's a man on second base. Good heads-up base running by Soper there too to realize that he missed the ball.
Yeah, he never stopped hustling and just kind of had 2 on his mind, doing exactly what you're taught to do when your coach is just hit the ball and keep running until your coach tells you to stop.
1-0 pitch is fired in there, fastball for a strike from Mineski. So back-to-back innings here where, actually not back-to-back, the 2nd inning, so every other inning I guess we'll have issues
even
that
ones.
He's going to have to
Yeah.
watch out for the 6th. But as that one's fired in low. We all kid, of course, but Peddie going a long way to get here. They're really going to have to keep him at second, so Mineski keeping a watch as Soper slides back in. Fastball high, now 3-1 count, so good spot here for Dylan Galgano.
And Mineski having trouble locating in the strike zone, needing to avoid this blowing up into another big inning.
That fastball is going to be high and outside for ball 4, so first and second with no outs here for Sean Patel, who singled his last time up. I believe it singled in a couple of runs, right?
Yep, RBI single back in the second, then came around to score on Ben Patron's hit. But for Mineski, a walk there, not necessarily the worst thing. Now you've set up potential for a double play. You've got the force at any base on the infield.
Patel's going to try for the bunt there. Going to bunt it foul for strike 1. But, yeah, Patel actually had a pretty solid base hit his last time up, so Mineski's going to have to be pretty careful here.
Yeah, that's the flip side of the coin, is now 2 runners on and nobody out for a pretty good hitter at the plate. And Patel and Ben Patron on deck having a great season as well.
And the bunt's going to be squared down. It's going to be Barreto is going to throw it past Tim DeGray at first base, and that's going to be 1 run scoring. He's going to throw it into Satina. That's going to bounce too high, and now it's going to be Patel trying to score, and he will. All 3 runners scoring on that play. What a disaster for Peddie defensively. 3-run score on a bunt.
Yeah, it's going to be at least 2 errors on the play, one on Barreto for the initial bad throw, and then another on Tim DeGray for the throw home that got away from Pat Satina. And, I mean, you said it. It's the worst case scenario for Peddie of Hunt's trying to give you the out. As we'll take a look again here on the replay. You see first the throw that just kind of Barreto took his time with and ended up lollipopping it and just airmailing it over to Gray. And then everyone was hustling. We talked early in the game about how much foul ground there is here. And so DeGray had a long way to get there. 2 runs were in. And then the throw home.
Not a good throw home.
Yeah,
from
not
DeGray,
a good throw home. Didn't get to the cutoff man. And ends up getting past the catcher, allowing Patel to come in and score. And now
Great
all of a sudden a
recognition
7-0 lead.
Yeah, great recognition by Patel, too. I mean, you'd think he would just stop at second or something, but I'm returning my head and I'm seeing him coming around third. I'm thinking, how did he get there? It's just, the Hun team is just, I think, when it comes down to it at the end of the day, Hun is just so good at everything. And Peddie is really good. This is a much improved team from 2 years ago, but the one thing from my time that I remember as manager of this team is the errors. We would have games where we would have maybe 6 errors and 7 errors, and obviously these players have matured a lot, but you're kind of seeing these pop up against a much better opponent. And so 7-0 deficit here for Peddie, as that's going to be skied out. Marino's going to make the catch there around second base for the first out of the inning.
And you just caught a shot of Tom Monfoletto, the head coach for the Hun school, and he's done a great job over the last few years of building this program up to where it is now. USA Today has them ranked as the number 2 team in New Jersey, number 7 in the Northeast Mid-Atlantic region. I mean, this is a great team that Pettie's going up against. And yes, like you said, they're much improved over the last few years. They've done a lot just to get to this point, but they're running into a Hun team that is among the very best in the state and in this entire region of the country.
Yeah, but Peddie should be proud of themselves for the way they've gotten to where they are right now.
For sure, and obviously there's still, 3 more innings left to go in this game, and we've seen they've been able to start rallies against Jack Urbeck, just haven't been able to turn that into runs. So, there is a little bit of firepower in their bats to come back if they can.
Oh, and a bit of a messy situation there as Barreto tried to to sidearm the ball at first base, missed it, and then DeGray missed the rebound, slid there, and so I don't know. I guess you could call that a single or an error, but again, another defensive miscue over there at the cold corner, and so it's going to be first base, 1 out here for Andy Blake, who absolutely destroyed a baseball his last time up. Fastball, good velocity there from Mineski. It's going to be outside for ball 1.
Yeah, it was about one of the harder pitches we've seen out of Jake Mineski here today. I wonder if he's just, at this point, got to rear and back for a little something extra.
Curveball in there for strike 1. Blake kind of kicking himself for that. A little strained expression on his face, but really nice curveball there for Mineski.
Yeah, it looked like Blake was a little fooled by that one.
And now the changeup's going to be a little high for ball 1. Actually, I think that was a fastball, but had a bit of movement on it too. So 2-1 count here for Jake Mineski. 7-0 in favor of the home team Hun. And that's going to be hard hit to Marino. He's going to sidearm to second. Over to first is DeGray, and they're going to get the double play. So after an inning with defensive miscues abounding, defense came together to get that double play. But Peddie down by 7 as Hun tacks on 3 more. We're going to go to the top of the 5th inning. 7-0 Hun here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Top half of the 5th inning here. Peddie finding themselves down 3 more where they were the last time they were up. 7-0 in favor of Hun as Tim DeGray steps up to the plate. He's going to foul this one off by the Casperson History House for strike number 1. DeGray from Alaska, actually. So his grandfather was the former headmaster of Petit, too. Ball 1 high and tight to DeGray here. Yeah, Thomas DeGray had a good run. Fastball down the middle for strike 2 to DeGray, so finding himself in a bit of a difficult count here. DeGray's last time up walked. And gonna get him on that nasty slider as they're gonna say DeGray went around, and that is strikeout number 7 for Jake Urbeck. So Jack Urbeck, excuse me, and out number 1 here for the Petit Falcons as Latrell Reed steps up to the plate. He's going to ground this one to Urbeck. Urbeck's going to calmly throw it over to first for out number 2. So 2 quick ones here for Urbeck after some difficulties in the earlier innings. Really starting to settle in with that 3-pitch mix of the fastball, the curveball, and the slider.
Yeah, it's been some really good pitching today for Jack Urbeck, overcoming that difficulty that he had in the 3rd, and even a little bit in the 4th after the error by Andy Blake. But it's just consistently throwing up zeros today.
Fastball a lot of heat, but not a lot of location. Down and away for ball number 1 from Urbeck to Justin Marino, who last time out struck out. And that's going to be flied out to left center field. And the center fielder Applegate is going to corral that one to end the inning. So a very quick one here. 1, 2, 3 go the Petit Falcons, and we'll catch you in the bottom of the 5th. 7-0 Hunt. Trevor Russo, Joe Vasile back with you in the bottom of the 5th inning. Peddie finding themselves in a little bit of a hole, and Jake Mineski still out there for his 5th inning of work. 7 runs allowed. I'd imagine a lot of those would be unearned runs, as we've had notable errors and miscues on the defensive side for Peddie today, as that off-speed misses in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, by my count, at least 4 of the 7 runs that Hunt has scored today are unearned. But of course, that's the unofficial scoring that I'm doing, and not the official tally.
Yet who knows what the official tally? It's kind of crazy, as that's strike 1. That pitch is going to be lined, almost a dive by Tim DeGray, but that little chopper there is going to get into right field to Katz for a single, and McGuire Tuffy is going to lead off with a single there.
It's interesting, some action in the bullpen for Peddie. Just some throwing. No one's going off a mound even. Just some light tossing behind the dugout here on the third base side.
Yeah, Nicholas Newman, who I am not familiar with, is warming up now.
Yep.
Junior.
Happened to catch with Nick Shaw.
That one's going to be skied out to center field. Reed is going to get under it for the first out, so quick one there for Mineski. And now up to the plate, got the big man himself, Jack Urbeck. Last time out, he flew out to Luttrell, and before that, he flew out to Aaron Katz. So we'll see if he can break his little streak here, or he can fly out to left field, too.
Just complete the fly-out cycle.
Yeah. That one's going to be down and away for ball 1 to Urbeck.
You know, Urbeck reminds me of another guy that Hun had several years ago, earlier part of this decade.
Curveball's going to be high and tight for ball 2.
He's a two-way player, ended up going to Princeton, now playing in the Yankees minor leagues, just made his major league debut a few weeks ago, and Mike Ford was a great pitcher at the Hun School and a big power hitter as well, just like Urbeck.
Yeah, that one's going to be another curveball missing high, but this one over the plate for ball 3. Yeah, Hun always seemed to have the highest velocity guys in the Maple League. I remember there was a guy throwing like 85, 90 when I was a sophomore here. As that fastball is going to miss up for ball 4, so 3 straight high pitches and a walk for Jack Urbeck. Man in scoring position is McGuire Tuffy, and the man trying to bring him in is Blaney Soper.
Pinch runner at first base is Jackson Kramer going to run for Jack Urbeck.
Yeah, probably a courtesy runner because they allow those at this level of play. Don't want to take Urbeck out after he is absolutely dealing. That pitch missing high there for ball one, so Jake Mineski trying to keep it down a little bit. Starting to lose the zone. That one high. Again, curveball. So that's ball two, and 6 straight pitches, have missed high.
Yeah, you wonder how much Mineski's kind of got left in the tank at this point. I mean, we talked about for Peddie. I mean, you were talking to Eric Treese before the game. Wasn't sure how much pitching Falcons really had left today because of how much was spent yesterday just trying to get to this game.
Yeah, 3-0 count, and that's going to be another walk. 8 straight balls for Jake Mineski, and that's going to load the bases, and Eric Treese is going to come to the mound. Most likely for, yeah, it looks like he's going to gesture over. I think they're going to want Newman right now.
And it's interesting because watching Newman warm up, he never actually got on the mound. Was just throwing in front of the mound. But yeah, it looks like Nicholas Newman going to be the new pitcher here for Peddie.
Or maybe not. I think Tree's trying to have a talk here with Mineski. Maybe he's trying to plead to stay in this game to face off against Galgano.
Yeah, but Newman is.
Yeah, they're going to keep him on.
Done throwing. He's out of the bullpen. It certainly looked like he was expecting to come into the game.
Yeah, I think. I don't think that means he's done warming. I think just. He's probably going to go back out there again, just a little confused. So, we'll. I imagine Coach Treese is going to send him back out there. But Jake Mineski trying to clean up his own mess. 1 out here. Double play could end it. Dylan Galgano, of course. I think he was part of the strange mess. So he's actually been a part of 2 errors today, or did he walk his last time up? Trying to read your handwriting a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's chicken scratch. It's a yeah. He reached on the error back in the second by Latrell Reed on the drop catch, then walked his last time up, scored a run both times.
And that one's going to be a little liner foul past our producer and wonderful boss Simon Rosen's former colleague over there. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Galgano. And that was going to be a swing and a miss. So, actually, I believe the first strikeout for Jake Mineski comes in the 5th inning, and it can't come at a better time as he faces off, I guess you could call it his nemesis, Sean Patel. Really gotten the better of him today. So,
Yep, Patel, the RBI single in the second, and then he was the one who laid down the sacrifice bunt last inning that led to 3 runs coming in to score on 2 separate errors on the play.
I believe that one missed ball 1. Scoreboard does not reflect that, but I imagine it will. And this one's going to be lifted into left field. It's going to be Falumaro settling under it. He's going to make this catch to retire the side. So Jake Mineski getting out of a bases-loaded jam of his own. So keeps it at 7. We go to the top of the 6th. I will cede play-by-play duties to my good partner over here, and we'll see you next inning. All right, top of the 6th here, 7-0 Hun lead. I'm going to transfer control over here to Joe. All yours.
Thank you very much, Trevor. We go to this 6th inning. Petit leads off for the Peddie Falcons, followed by Cam Barreto and Aaron Katz, 3, 4, and 5 in the Peddie lineup against Hun right-hander Jack Urbeck, who's looking to throw up another goose egg here in the 6th inning. As we have a little delay, there are some bats that were left out by the Hun dugout. Now that those have been cleaned up near their on-deck circle, we can get underway here in the 6th. First pitch in at the knees for a strike to Pat Satina, count 0-1.
Yeah, Pat Satina ended the 3rd inning rally, so we're going to see if he can start something here. Of course, a bit bigger of a deficit here for the Falcons.
Yeah, that 3rd inning, really the turning point in this game, as the 1-1 is in for a strike. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Satina.
Yeah,
Hun scored 3 in the top of the 3rd, or rather in the bottom of the 2nd, and then Peddie in the top of the 3rd, loaded the bases with nobody out. Check swing on appeal, no swing, 2-2. Weren't able to score, and that was the best chance the Falcons had.
Yeah, no, they couple of things that I was saying actually coming true. So the errors, for one thing, have really dogged Peddie this whole game, and then not taking advantage of opportunities when they had them. One thing I also do remember from my time is that sometimes we would get those chances, and you just wouldn't capitalize. Obviously, everyone a little more mature, but Hun is a different beast, and against Jack Urbeck, you don't get many of those.
3-2 in at the knees, strike 3 called. 8th strikeout of the game for Jack Urbeck, and the 2nd time he's caught Pat Satina looking. It's the first out here in the 6th inning, and yeah, Urbeck had some hiccups there in the 3rd and in the 4th with 2 outs as well. But outside of that has been dynamite for the Raiders, as the first pitch to Barreto misses low, count 1 ball and no strikes.
And I think really in that 3rd inning and on, you can really credit the transformation, so to speak, of Urbeck in this game to the discovery of that slider, because he got, once you saw, so you saw basically the fielder's choice with Reed, and then in that at-bat to Marino, he used, I think, 3 or 4 different sliders, and it changed the complexion of that at-bat, and I think of this game, because that slider, now you have 3 different things to look at. You have the devastating heat, the curveball, which really hasn't worked today, but now you have that slider, and he's going to, I think that was the slider too, getting swing and miss, so just deadly stuff with that second off-speed offering there from Urbeck.
Urbeck into the line at 2-2. Strike 3 called. Fastball at the knees.
I think that was actually the slider too. So, again, just Peddie Falcons cannot handle that pitch today, and it's really doing them in right now.
9 strikeouts for Jack Urbeck through 5 2/3 innings. Very impressive as Aaron Katz digs in. Takes the first pitch low, count 1-0.
Yeah, fastball location's been a little better too. One of the contributing factors to the loading of the bases was the fact that he could not hit a fastball in the strike zone to save his life, and then, of course, mixing in the slider really started to do damage later. But good stuff from here on out for Jack Urbeck, who still has only allowed 2 runs in this entire year.
Swing and a miss by Katz, way out in front. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still just 1 hit in the game for Peddie. Mike Tiles leadoff single in the 3rd. Pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Jack Urbeck strikes out the side in order, and he's got 10 strikeouts through 6 innings. To the bottom of the 6th, 7-0 Hun here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Bottom of the sixth, the 7-0 lead for the Hun Raiders. They'll send Ben Patron, Carson Applegate, and Andy Blake to the plate here in this bottom of the inning. As defensive change at first base for Peddie. Gambarito is out and Phil Sapienza is in. I don't believe there were any other changes defensively.
Yeah, I don't think so.
First pitch to Patron is fouled back, and the count 0-1. Patron a big 2-run single back in the second inning for Hun. As he lines the pitch to center field in Latrell Reed. Squeezes it to make the catch. Board out number 1 in the inning. Reed made a couple of really nice diving catches in the third. After that error he had in the second, has been really solid in center.
Yeah, no, Latrell Reed, I mean, from what I'm seeing here, is a pretty good player. He should not beat himself up over that error, although it was the contributing factor to the start of the Hun lead here.
So now leadoff batter Carson Applegate at the plate. First pitch in for a strike.
Actually,
Got 0-1. Yeah, it is a pinch hitter.
Yeah,
Cole Palmieri pinch hitting for Carson Applegate here in the bottom of the sixth. As Palmieri smokes one foul, and the count quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Cole Palmieri, only 23 at-bats on the year. Still a decent amount for high school baseball, hitting .261 with 1 double.
Grounds this one to the left side, knocked down on the backhand by Marino. But he's not able to play it cleanly, and Palmieri aboard at first on what should be an infield single.
Yeah, Marino's still down on one knee, so I think he looks like he's okay. Just disappointed that he didn't grab that one.
That'll bring up Andy Blake to hit for himself as Palmieri, I guess you can assume he'll stay in and play center field in the top of the seventh. As Hun looking to wrap up its 4th straight Prep A championship, won in 16, 17, and 18. Going to make it a right for Pete. Andy Blake with those stirrups on. It's the first pitch foul up the third base line and nearly takes out Tom Monfiletto in the third base coach's box. Count 0-1.
Yeah, tough for Peddie, although they've really come very far, and there's probably not much of a chance here that they score 7+ in the next frame, but this shouldn't discredit the amount of work that they've done and the core of the team really progressing like this. To see so many hitters over 300 is just really good to see. As not sure what's going on over there.
Tom Monfiletto was down in the third base coach's box without the helmet on, which is, of course, a mandated rule that you have to have that on to coach first or third. So he had to go exchange his hat for a hard hat. As the pitch to Blake misses outside, count 1-1.
Yeah, I think that foul ball kind of jolted his memory a little bit.
So, you know what? I should probably go get this.
Yeah. We don't need a concussion today.
No, or worse. 1-2 now to Blake as he fouls it off at the plate. Cole Palmieri aboard at first base after the infield single. One gone here in the bottom of the sixth. Hun looking to tack on a few more to a 7-run lead. The pitch. Grounded up the third base line and foul. Do it again at 1-2 to Andy Blake, who had a home run back in the third inning that was just a great blast. Kind of a high pitch. He was able to get underneath it and elevate, launch it over the wall in left field.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a pitch crush like that at this field ever.
Wind is blowing, but it's blowing in from right towards the left field line, so not even so much wind-aided. Pitch fouled off by Blake. Do it again at 1-2. Is Jake Mineski just trying to battle his way through this one and give Peddie all 6 innings. We've seen some action in the bullpen at times for the Falcons. There is none right now, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to just be content to let him finish this one out.
Blake to third, goes off the glove of Tile and into left field.
5th error by your count by the Falcons.
Certainly a lot.
now Treese is going to come over to talk to the umpire here. I think he's going to take Mineski out of this game.
He's got the lineup card out, and call's been made as Jimmy Famularo coming in from left field. He was warming up in the bullpen when Peddie was hitting last inning, and now will come in and pitch. So we're going to have to see a defensive swap as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring in, I'm not sure who they're going to put in left field.
Yeah, Jarrett Hillman's out of the dugout with a glove on, so got to imagine Hillman, the DH. Yep, he's going to go out and take the spot in left field.
Yeah, also the hitting spot too, so no real changes there.
Jimmy Famularo now in to pitch for the Petit Falcons while he throws his warm-up tosses. We'll take a step aside here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Jimmy Famularo back on the mound for the Petit Falcons. There's one out. Runners on first and second in the bottom of the sixth. First pitch to McGuire. Tuffy misses for ball. Count 1-0.
Yeah, a little more velocity here from Famularo than we saw from Mineski. Only one pitching appearance on the year, I believe. Gave up no earned runs, 3 walks, 2 hits, and has 3.2 innings pitched to his name. So a little bit green out there on the mound for the Falcons, but down 7 runs doesn't really matter.
2-0 to Tuffy, misses. Count 3 balls and no strikes. Is Jake Mineski, 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, but his defense made 5 errors behind him. Walked 2, struck out 1, charged with all 7 runs, but as of right now, looks like only 3 of those are going to be earned runs.
Yeah, and now with basically the clinching run at home plate, this still is a situation where you don't want to get mercy ruled in the Prep A championship, as Famularo is going to walk. Is that Tuffy? But yeah, mercy rule is 10 runs. I'm not sure if that's active in the championship, but still would not be what you want to see in the last game of the year.
I'll bring Danny Melnick to the plate with the bases loaded. Palmieri at third, Blake at second, Tuffy at first. Cleanup hitter 0 for 3 at the plate. Looking to break through here as he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. And the count 0-1 to Danny Melnick.
Yeah, he wanted all of that. That swing was violent. Famularo's going to have to watch out with his next couple pitches here.
Pitcher Jack Urbeck on deck for Hun. Pitch to Melnick. He rips this one to deep left field. Hillman going back. He looks up, and that ball is out of the park. A ground rule double for Danny Melnick. Wasn't sure at first if it landed in play, then hopped over the fence, but that is what happened. 2 runs are in. It's a 9-0 Hun lead with 1 out in the 6th. And runners on second and third for the pitcher, Jack Urbeck.
Yeah, that's what we call the commentator's curse right there, Joe, as that one was absolutely smashed by Melnick. Very lucky it didn't go over and end this game, but Hillman putting up his hands as if to say, yeah, that didn't go out.
So now Jack Urbeck with a chance to do it. First pitch called, the strike at the knees, count 0-1.
Yeah, Urbeck starting this game and getting a chance to finish it himself. 2 men in scoring position, so if Mercy Rule is in effect and Tuffy scores, that's it.
In the dirt, count 1 ball and 1 strike to Urbeck, who's been great with 6 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts on the mound, and just 1 hit allowed here in the Prep A championship game. 1-1, swing and a miss by Urbeck as he was swinging for the fences. Ball and 2 strikes the count with Blaney Soper on deck. McGuire Tuffy at third, Danny Melnick at second. Set by Famularo, and pitch misses in. It's now 2-2.
Now, if you walk him here, I don't think that's actually a bad deal, although you haven't seen Urbeck actually get a hit yet today. But, oh.
Cranks it to deep left field. Hillman back, and it is gone. 3-run home run for Jack Urbeck.
And if Mercy Rule is in effect, that should be it, although no Petit players have walked off the mound yet. So we'll have to see what happens here. Is Eric Treese coming out to the mound. Yeah, wow, I was mid-sentence, and there was a hit. It was very far. Yeah, so we've seen 3 crushed out to that left field wall. So the right-handed power of the Hun Red Raiders is just, or the Hun Raiders, as our tent almost blows off its spikes here. Yeah, not what you want to have for the Petit Falcons here. And I think the umpire is talking over with head coach of Hun here, Tom Monteferro. And ultimately, I think we're actually going to see a pitching change here.
Yeah, Aaron Katz is coming in from right field to pitch. And we'll have a new glove delivered. Famularo going to head back out to left field as he faces 3 batters and allows 2 inherited runs to score. And then a 3-run home run by Jack Urbeck.
Actually, we're going to see Phil Sapienza, who just came into play first base a couple innings ago. He's going to get out to the mound, and I think Aaron Katz with that first baseman's glove is going out to first base.
So there you have it. Another look at the home run from Urbeck.
Yeah, just got all of that one. Unlike the last hit, there was no doubt about that. And Phil Sapienza also not having the longest pitching resume this season. I think he only has 5 in the book so far, but that also closes the line on Famularo.
Yep, and Mineski's line being totaled up in my head as we speak. First for Famularo, no innings pitched. He didn't record an out. Give up 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 1 walk, no strikeouts. For Mineski, 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 9 runs. And of those 9 runs, I believe only 4 of those are earned. 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Now Sapienza in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, the 12-0 lead for Hun.
Yeah, interesting pitching motion for Sapienza. You're going to watch his hand as he delivers the ball. He sort of holds it and then gears back with all his force. So
see if he can use some of that leverage, yeah.
Interesting form here. Yeah, I remember that back in JV baseball, playing with Sapienza. So we'll see if it works against the rest of this Hun Raider lineup.
Blaney Soper as Sapienza winds and delivers the first pitch in for a strike. Count 0-1.
Yeah, so the line from Sapienza, he's got a 4.5 ERA, 4.2 innings pitched, has given up 4 walks and 5 hits, no Ks on the season.
Pitch in for a strike. Count 0-2 to Soper.
Although he's throwing strikes here.
And gotta imagine just trying to lay it in there and hope he gets some contact to get the final 2 outs. The 0-2 misses low. The count 1-2. 12-0 lead for Hun. Looking forward to the top of the 7th. Famularo, Tile, and Hillman due up.
There's some contact there.
Fly ball to right center. Latrell Reed to the gap makes the catch. And there's 2 gone in the inning as Soper retired. Bring up Dylan Galgano, 8th Hun Raider to bat in the inning.
Yeah, produced 5 runs so far in this frame.
Pops the first pitch up, first base side. Aaron Katz on the infield dirt, makes the call and makes the catch for out number 3 in the inning. It's a 12-0 Hun lead after 6. Back for the top of the 7th after this. Jack Urbeck back to the mound for the Hun School to start the top of the 7th. Jimmy Famularo leads off for Peddie, and the first pitch in for a strike. Count 0-1. It is a 12-0 lead for Hun after a 5 spot in the bottom of the 6th, highlighted by a 3-run home run by Urbeck himself.
Yeah, getting it done both ways today.
Swing and a miss by Famularo. Count 0-2 as Urbeck's home run came against Famularo, who had quite the inning. He started in left field, came into pitch, faced 3 batters, and finished in right. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Famularo down on strikes. He chased another slider down and out of the strike zone. That is now 11 strikeouts for Jack Urbeck, including 4 straight.
Yeah, no, just a lot of things went wrong for Peddie in this game. I mean, you have the offense against Urbeck not capitalizing on chances, and then you have the 6 errors. I think out of everything, those 6 errors, you can't win a baseball game like that, and especially not against the 2nd best team in the state.
Pinch hitting now Nicholas Newman ahead in the count 1-0. Launches a fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes. It's pinch hitting for Mike Tile here in this 7th inning. And Nick Shaw is on deck to pinch hit for Peddie as well as the count 3-0 to Newman.
Headmaster Peter Quinn behind us as we broadcast, so we're in some good company right now.
Pitch swung on and missed by Newman. Count 3 balls and 1 strike. Great day here at Peddie. 3-1 swung on and missed. Count 3-2. A lot of people set up in lawn chairs and blankets, and really did a great job in hosting here this weekend. Facility's in amazing shape. 3-2 misses high and tight for ball 4, especially considering this time of year. Beautiful green grass, nothing's cut up, everything's nice and groomed well, and it's been a fun weekend of baseball.
Yeah, Petty Crown's crew always getting it done, from my memories and experience. Looks like someone warming right now for Hun. Don't know why that is, but...
First pitch to Nick Shaw, the pinch hitter, misses low. Count 1 ball and 0 strikes. Shaw pinch hitting for Jarrett Hillman. Takes called strike at the knees. And the count even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch to the sophomore, fouled back. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's Peddie still fighting hard here in the top of the 7th. 1-2 just missed outside. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So, I mean, looking at the future just based on who's graduating or who's not, a lot of seniors on this Hun roster, most notably Jack Urbeck himself is going to graduate, as Shaw's going to strike out there, Petty down to their final strike. But Petty not really fielding that many seniors playing in the starting lineup.
Yeah, 7 seniors for the Hun school. And for Petty, they have 6 on their roster, but again, in terms of the starting lineup, not so many, as Jack Urbeck going to be taken out of the game here and given a chance to get a standing ovation from his teammates and from the Hun crowd that has made the trip here. What a performance by Urbeck, striking out 12 in 6 2/3 innings. Just 1 hit, and the Hun school 1 out away from a 4th straight Prep A championship. And they'll do it with a new pitcher in the game. We'll take a quick step aside. We'll come back and let you know all about the new hurler here on the Play by Play Sports Network. The new pitcher in the game for the Hun school is Jake Sloss in to face Tim DeGray with 2 outs at the top of the 7th. After Jack Urbeck gives way to a standing ovation. The first pitch to DeGray misses high for a ball, count 1-0.
Yeah, big moment here from DeGray, playing through the Petty baseball pipeline his entire years here at as a Falcon, so potentially getting up to the plate for the final time. It's a big moment for him.
Petty down to their final out in the game. Runner at first base, Nicholas Newman takes his lead, the 1-1. Rockets in at the knees for a strike. Good fastball by Sloss. And the count 1-2. You're talking about how unusually his pitchers who throw fairly hard. Sloss backing up Urbeck, another good one. Fouled off to stay alive. Count remains at 1-2 to Gray.
Well, actually, make sure you click it and then
Peddie down to their final strike in the game.
first for some celebration.
Yeah, Sloss also, we're probably not going to see him for long, but also a fantastic pitcher. Only 4 hits in 15 innings.
Breaking ball just missed high and tight. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good job by DeGray to lay off that one. He awaits the 2-2. Strike 3 called at the knees. That'll do it. And the Hun Raiders are 2019 Prep A champions, and it's 4 straight. 12-0 the final today over the Petit Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about all the things that kind of went wrong for Peddie or went right for Hun, but at the end of the day, this is a vastly superior team. Hun, of course, you know, 2nd in New Jersey, 7th in the entire Northeast. A fantastic team, great pitching, incredible hitting. You know, they completely deserve this all the way. And Peddie should not be disappointed by this result. I mean, although the final score is not what you want, but it's good to see that this young core that I got to watch playing has really grown up and have gotten themselves this far.
And the Hun school staying on top of Prep A, but for Peddie, as we were mentioning, still a young core. They've built the program up, and really a great job done by Eric Treese, their head coach, to kind of continue to build the program in the right direction. Obviously, he's an alumni of the Peddie school and kind of coming back here and has got the baseball program into this game, which is a big accomplishment in your season in and of itself, even though you fall to a tough opponent in Hun. A great season for both teams, and unfortunately, just season always ends in a loss for everybody except for one team, and this year that one team is the Hun school. Getting ready for the trophy presentation out on the fields. Take place at home plate. 2 head coaches yucking it up with Tom Affoletto and Eric Treese. A Gatorade shower.
Actual Gatorade in there. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Usually you just get water.
Yeah, it's red. There you go. I don't know if you had that in your pool. Whether it was just going to be water or what color the Gatorade was.
Well, I've never seen Gatorade in an actual Gatorade cooler. That's I don't know. Have you? I mean, with your years of broadcasting experience.
Maybe in the NFL, but I've never called a game in the NFL, so I guess that doesn't really count.
Well, there's always time.
Yes, maybe.
Looks like Jason Baston, athletic director, Pettie's going to be the one presenting here.
So what we'll do is we'll turn up the Nat sound mic and just kind of get you his trophy presentation for as much as you're going to be able to hear it, which I'm going to go ahead and say, full disclosure, probably not well, but we're going to do our best. And it's coming up right now, the presentations for first the runners-up, the Petit Falcons, then the champions, the Hun School Raiders. 12-0 the final here today. trophy presentations wrapped up here. Hopefully you were able to hear better than we could. We couldn't even hear. So I apologize for at least the lack of sound there for that. But Hun, the 2019 Prep A champions, and Trevor, a 12-0 win. Great appearance by Jack Urbeck back both on the mound, 6 2/3, 1 hit, 12 strikeouts at the plate. Big 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th. And a good win overall for Hun and for Peddie. Again, looking forward to next year with trying to get some positive momentum to take away from this game. But obviously kind of a bittersweet way to have your season end, albeit a good one for the Falcons.
Yeah, I think really the offense, you weren't really going to get much off of Jack Urbeck there, but it's really all about opportunistic hitting and the errors and the defense, and I think those were the two keys for Peddie today, and Urbeck and the hitting were the two keys for Hun today. So really one team executed, the other didn't, and both teams have bright futures ahead of them.
That's the story of it today. The Hun Raiders, the 2019 Prep A champions here in the state of New Jersey. That'll wrap things up for us here today on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Want to say big thanks to the crew sitting just over to my right. As always, a fantastic job on the production side of things. Trevor Russo, fantastic job yourself. It was a pleasure. My name is Joe Vasile. Final score, final time. It's Hun 12, Peddie nothing. Talk to you next time here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network.